here is really exciting. We're breeding them here, learning more about them. And then I'm sure you recognize the big bird over to the left. Ostrich, yep. Now all the ostrich that we have here at the park are girls. We have chosen not to breed them on purpose because they're not endangered, so we like to focus our efforts on breeding the endangered ones. And they reproduce really, really quick, so if we let them, we'd have like 1 million ostriches everywhere. And out there with the ostriches are the lavender gray ones that are called hensbach. And a close-up Cape buffalo inside of the smaller enclosure that we're just passing. We call the smaller area a boma, and it's a Swahili word that means animal enclosure. We keep animals that need extra medical attention in there, or a new animal, or an animal that's getting ready to go out to another facility, which happens a lot. But we are driving away from South Africa, and we are entering Central Africa. Now, Central Africa tends to have more rainfall, so they have more of the rich green grass. They also have more forested areas. Now, sometimes when you see areas with lots of green grass, you see animals that are red in color. And we're coming upon one of those animals to the left, called Ugandan cob. They're feeding up here. Now, the reason for the red color is it's a means of camouflage. Now, you're like, wait a second, they're not camouflaging. Red, green grass? No? Ah, if you are a predator like a lion, you can't tell the difference between red and green. As people, we see a lot more colors than most mammals. And so most of the mammals are seen in a black and white scale, and red and green look exactly the same. If you take a black and white photo of these Ugandan cob, you can see how that works. Did everyone spot the male Ugandan cob? Only one with horns. Some of the other antelope that we've been viewing, both the sexes have horns. Now when that's the case, when they both have horns, it means their resources are somewhat limited. There's not a ton of food or water, so they have to compete with each other using the horns for the limited resources. And the Ugandan cob, only the male has horns, got plenty of food and water to go around. He just has his horns to show off to the girls.
Yeah,
when we first entered on the bridge, a bird flew away, and we've got another white one that's still sitting there on the edge. That's actually a wild bird. It's called an egret. And since we're sort of the lap of luxury resort living for the animals, we get lots of wild ones that want to come and enjoy the park too. Any birds you see flying around are going to be wild. Our collection birds, they're not able to leave and are able to fly. But we have another type of pelican that's over to the right side on the island. If you look, you'll see they're on some nests. Now recently, I saw them off the nest for a moment, and there was an egg over there. So I'm really excited. I want to see what happens. You see some of them wobbling, that gular pouch on the underside of their beak. That's the way that they can cool off, release some heat. And that pelican's called a pink-back pelican. And in the center of their back, there is some pink that they spread their wings.
Focus on this profile is for you too.
To the left side, we've got a pretty large antelope out there. It's all brown with black on his face. And they're called roan antelope. I really like the black on their face. I think it's very pretty, the markings. And check out the way that the black line goes through the eye, and it sort of lines up with the horn. He's trying to make his horn look longer, more threatening. It's called a threat mask. One of the great things about our park that makes it so unique is all of our space. So as you look around, all of the hills you see are part of our property. We actually have 1,800 acres here.
Wow.
And what we've done is we've developed about 900 acres to be the safari park, and the other 900 acres we're leaving natural to provide space for the native plants and animals, a lot of which are endangered. There's not a lot of large open space like this left in Southern California. And you guys, by being here, you're helping us with that. You're helping us take care of the animals you've been viewing. You're also helping us to do the research projects and the conservation work that we're doing in countries around the world. And one of the cool projects we're working on is with zebra. And we have the zebras coming up to the left down the hill.
Ooh, zebras!
Area down there. These are grevy zebra. And the grevy zebra is critically endangered. So we're focused on breeding them here, like most of our animals. But we're also trying to help the wild grevy zebra. We're going over there into East Africa where they live. And what we're doing is digging watering holes for them. There's been a lot of drought. They can't find water. It's very difficult on them. They can't really travel to where they need to get the water because most of Africa's fenced in now. The other thing that's been happening is they've been catching anthrax from the local livestock. So we'll go over there and we'll vaccinate the livestock. And you can help us along with that project. If you go over to the San Diego Zoo and you do the giraffe feeding program, part of the profit from that goes to help the wild grevy zebra. Now you may have been curious why the zebras have their own space down there. And that's because they tend to be pretty protective of their food and water. In the wild, it might be really hard to find good food and water. So if you do, you don't want anyone to take it from you. You're very protective of it. So they tend to be more on the feisty side. They don't always get along with everyone else in the field enclosure, so that's why they have their own space. They're happier that way. Springbok out here. South African springbok are the tan ones with the white bellies. And since they are so small, lots of predators want to go after the South African springbok. So they have the adaptation of being fast. They can run up to 60 miles an hour. The cheetah would definitely like to hunt that springbok. And the cheetah doesn't even know how fast it can run. 70 miles an hour. Yep.
Hold this, I'll get him. Hold this.
So the cheetah, though, can only run at 70 miles an hour for about 1 minute and then become extremely exhausted. Springbok has a lot better endurance. But let me show you what's over to the right side. Now, we've been looking at lots and lots of types of antelope. But in Africa, there's only one native deer, and that's what we're seeing here. This is called a Barbary red deer. It's way up in northern Africa. See if we can find any with antlers. Oh, I think I see one right past the front of the trim. So let me pull up and you can see the Barbary red deer that has a set of antlers. Only the male has the antlers. And antlers are quite different than the horns that we've been looking at on the antelope. Because antlers are made of bone and they will fall off and grow back each year. And horns are made out of keratin, like our hair and our nails. And horns do not grow back if broken. If you break a horn, it's a big disadvantage because you use that to compete. So I want to take this opportunity right now to truly thank each and every one of you for coming to the safari park today. We're not for profit, so we would not survive.